let's take a look at the awesome screens inside the Toyota Prius, particularly the radio screen or the infotainment screen. Now, real quick, I'll show you. We do have, of course, the gauge cluster. It's awesome too, but we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on this screen. This thing is awesome. And by the way, you can see probably the light flickering across the bar on the front here. It does not do that. It's because of the frame rate on the camera. First of all, one of the coolest features, you have a view button over here. When you push that button, check this out. It shows you an overhead or side to side, I guess a 360 degree view of where you're sitting in the Prius. Check that out. I think that is just cool. It lets you see where you're at and what you're doing, right? But let's exit on out of that. We'll just push the button there. And this is the first screen that I have up. It has the radio part, I guess, of the radio. We're going to hit the music button there. We're going to enable audio. And then we're going to make sure that it's turned down. I don't want it to come on. And then you can pick different areas you want. You can hit tune, where you can pick your own station if you happen to know what it is. You can hit radio. It'll show you your presets and all that stuff. Let's go back one. Let's see. We're on radio, so I guess that's it. That's all we get. And then you can pick Sirius XM, blah, 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 AM, whatever. Now, let's go to the next one. You have your phone button. I don't have a device connected right now because, frankly, I don't want you to see all my contacts and stuff. But if I had a phone connected, you would see all of that information there. Moving on. Oh, and before I forget, up here at the top, you see this arrow. That is a navigation screen. Again, something I'm not going to show you here, but if I pushed it, you'd see a map and where we're at now. Let's go down to the car icon. A lot of cool stuff on here. I'm going to go back to the beginning of it, which is right here. You have a climate button first. You can see how it's set, where it's set right now. I have it set to AC auto. Options, you can do an eco, heat, or cool, which I have, and then there's a de-icer if, for instance, you were sitting somewhere where you were frozen. Let's go back a notch. We're going to go to trip information. This is going to show you the average speed, the trip range, I guess, 381 miles. That, of course, matches what's on the gauge cluster up here. And the last trip duration, 46 minutes. That was my driving. And then it gives you a graph of fuel economy, I suppose, based on that trip. You can clear it off if you want or leave it. You have a history button where you can see what the latest fuel economy was, 42 miles per gallon. A lot of stopping and sitting while I've been filming and stuff, so that's kind of low. Next up, go back to vehicle. We have energy flow, my favorite screen, I think, of the whole system. It shows you how the energy flows through the car. You have your engine here. This is an all-wheel drive, so I have two drive motors, one here in the front, one here in the back, and then your main battery where the EV function kicks in. If the engine was running, this would be lit up orange, and then arrows would be running down through the whole system showing you what's driving the car. Pretty cool to watch when you're driving, as long as you can keep at least one eye on the road, right? If we go back, we have vehicle alerts. There are no vehicle alerts for me. Everything is golden. We are good. Now, another thing I love about this radio, it will talk to you. If I use the name of the company, you know, the T word, and then ask it a question or something, it will respond to me much the same way that Alexa does. Pretty darn cool. Oh, and don't forget, you do have a clock right up here in the edge too, as well as up there on the screen. Now, let's go to settings real quick. I'm not going to run through all the settings or anything, but you can see you have a name. I have my name, Rob, as the primary driver, and that lovely icon I have in there. I'm not sure where that comes from. I think maybe my phone. You have personal information, not going to hit that one. Bluetooth devices, and then down here at general, you can push this and select different features, the way that the infotainment screen reacts. Date and time, if you need to change the time, formatting, all that stuff. A keyboard if you want to search for something, I suppose, and then language units depending on what language you speak and whether you're one of those English unit of measure folks, or maybe you're one of those metric kind like you Canadians up there. Notifications. This is going to show me, or let me rather, select whether I want software updates. Vehicle suggestions is on. Virtual assistant, that's where I can talk to it. Navigation during calls if you want, and then all the different navigation features you can select. Let's go down to Wi-Fi. I could turn this car on as a hotspot if I wanted to. I do not, nor do I hardly ever use that. I should say never use that. Let's go to display. This shows different things you can control. Light, ambient light, brightness, contrast, all that kind of stuff. The camera, this you can adjust brightness and contrast and all that good stuff. Let's go back. We're going to go to sound and media. This is where you can adjust, I guess, different sounds within the truck, or the car, I should say. Sound tuning, if you want to mess with the equalizer. Media, if you want to display some sort of cover art. And then radio and Sirius XM. Moving down to navigation, different things you can set here as well. Route options, things like that. You can put your home in, all different kinds of things. Next up is voice and search. A wake word, this is where you would say this, and I'm not going to say it because the system will kick in if you want to speak to it, and then a voice prompt will show up as well. Vehicle customization. There are lights, door controls, boarding and exit. The seat will actually go all the way back if you want to set it that way to make it easier to get in and out of the car. Custom drive mode. Different things you can set here. Powertrain is normal, steering is normal, air conditioning is normal. I could adjust all those things differently if I wanted to. Climate, utility, let's check utility. And ACC customize. And climate, simply what I showed you before. Now let's go down. You have dealer info. You can put your dealer in there if you want. I have mine set up as Bert Ogden. Info and security. I have the digital key enabled. I have the vehicle name to match the channel, hybridnow, of course. Software updates, none available. That's always good to see. I don't really want any updates. And lastly, you have apps. I don't have any apps in, although it says you can reinstall all apps. I'm not quite sure what that does. Let's find out. It says the operation will clear out data related to navigation and connected music apps. Confirm data. I'm going to cancel that because I don't want to remove my home or anything I've set in there. And that's it. Pretty much all of the things that the screens offer. I could run through settings and things like that, but if I did, I'd be on here for probably an hour, and nobody watches YouTube videos for an hour, at least not the same video. Anyway, I just wanted to run through the awesome infotainment screen in this Toyota Prius. I think it's just too cool. Leave a comment. Let me know. Have you mastered your Prius screen? I'd be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.